I went from being a bride looking forward to getting married to a third party, ruining other people's relationships. It seemed like there was nothing left to talk about between him and me. I blocked all his contact information quietly. After 3 years of admiring him, and 7 years of being his girlfriend, I thought we would eventually get married. But in the end, it was all just a fantasy. Timothy liked quiet and soft girls, so I suppressed my nature and behaved like a gentle girl. He said he didn't like his girlfriend to be too clingy, so I restrained my desire to approach him and kept my distance from him. He also mentioned that he didn't like his girlfriend wearing beautiful slip dresses, so I replaced all the clothes in my wardrobe with casual suits. After 7 years together, I had changed myself into a completely different person. But it wasn't until his childhood sweetheart, Mia Adrian, came back that I realized that all his demands were just for me. When Mia was being noisy, Timothy would praise her for being cute. If Mia called him for a trivial thing, Timothy would feel satisfied to be needed. When Mia wore a sexy slip dress, Timothy would stare at her with his eyes wide open. So, everything about Mia was good in his eyes. Whenever Mia called Timothy, the latter would leave me and go find her without hesitation. Timothy always gave a loving look when speaking of Mia. Mia is still young and needs me. You are different. You've lost your parents since you were a child, and have long been accustomed to loneliness and independence. My tragic life experience actually became an excuse for him to abandon me. He didn't even realize that I was actually a few months younger than Mia. I knelt in front of my grandfather's grave, feeling overwhelmed by sorrow and loneliness. From that moment on, I no longer had any family in this world, and no one would dare whether I suffered or not. My parents died in a car accident when I was young. Losing his son and daughter-in-law, my grandfather raised me alone. As he aged, his organs weakened. He said that I was the only one he was worried about, and hoped to see me get married and have someone cherish me as he did. But I let him down. Before dying, my grandfather held my hand tightly, his eyes full of attachment and reluctance. I'm dying, Evie. How are you gonna live now? I stayed in my grandfather's graveyard until dusk. When I returned to the matrimonial home, Mia and Timothy were coming in, arm in arm. Noticing I was in, Timothy pulled away from Mia's arm, and a trace of guilt flashed in his eyes. Evie, I didn't know you were here. I gritted my teeth and glared at him. I didn't want to cry, but my tears still flowed down. Evie, please don't overthink this. There's nothing happening between Mia and me. Mia only has less than a year left to live. She was really scared after learning the diagnosis and called me. Evie, you've always been understanding. Can you please stop making it hard for me? I didn't even say anything. Timothy had already begun to make his stand clear. Timothy, you say nothing is going on between you and Mia, but you married her. What does that make me? My heart sank in disappointment, and the pain gradually took hold of me. Timothy was stunned. He glanced at Mia. Mia, who had been remaining silent, came forward, grabbed my sleeve, and looked at me pleadingly. Bang! I slapped Mia in the face before I could realize it. Timothy stepped forward, stood in front of Mia, and pushed me hard. Evie Joe, what are you doing? Just vent your anger at me if you have any. Mia is sick, and she can't be provoked like this. How could you do this to her? Don't you have any empathy? So, that was the man who I had loved for 10 years, who I had devoted my entire youth to. He blamed me for being cruel. How ridiculous. A few years ago, Timothy suffered from acute liver failure. It was me who donated my liver to save him. Timothy held my hand and swore that he would never betray me in his life. He also knelt in front of my grandfather and promised that he would treat me well all his life and would never allow me to suffer any grievances. But only a few years later, he forgot his promise